Wow, what a romantic time to be alive. Today, the time being also very romantic time. Thank you so very much for joining. Oh boy, leave my this thing. Just focus on your focus. Allow me to focus on my focus. Okay. We are here to do serious business.
Of course.
This is not Chere Cambia. We need to be focused in our work.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for joining the Beige Podcast once more. It always is an exciting time to be here. Today, we are going to be talking about something that's so motivational. So, now laugh if you laugh or not.
The joke. There's no water in this your show that you invited me.
When did they make you choke? You never chop this morning?
No, actually. So maybe after now, let's continue.
But you need to bring the energy. You're not going to use hungry man energy to do this podcast. Thank you very much. Now, today we're going to be talking once again about small and medium businesses, but something that is so distinct. Mr. Wisdom, say a lot of times when people talk about things or post about things on social media, is how they made 1 million in 1 second, how they made 20 million in 10 seconds, how entrepreneurs are existing on private jets, day parties, day yachts, etc. and so forth.
Yeah.
Sorry, make I just tell you sorry because of the value I want to extract from you now.
Good host.
Absolutely. So, but today's actual topic is about the opposite of those things. So now we're now going from an angle of why do small and medium scale businesses fail? What are the challenges that, startups face in their early periods of existing? And just like we did the last time, we have some very, very interesting questions. I will not lie. I've not yet read the questions. I know they ever agree.
You're not a prepared host.
My friend, will you put your hand on your side of this podcast and leave me on my own side?
But
it's a motivating time. Say something. Say something.
Remember the last time I told you bring me back? I'm here. I just want to put it out here.
Okay.
They brought me back.
Okay.
Yes.
So what? Okay.
Don't you have to introduce me?
What does that? I don't have to introduce you if you were here the last time.
Okay, let's continue.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Wisdom Ating. I work with Engage Media Global. I'm a business strategist and a businessman. I help people make more money using media as a tool.
That's a very, very... Wait till you shock me. You know shock me. Not be wait till you talk the last time, you talk this time.
So why did you make me say it again?
Not be you say they don't introduce you.
Producer, why you no cut that old one put here? And I also want to state that today I'm not on brand.
Not be only we can see you not being on. Just look at you.
Ask your question. Let's start.
We were talking about something very, very interesting and very, very important as well.
You guys feel my leg.
Make you see what you they wear for leg now. Because you think you're not, you need to be focused.
It's okay.
This is 2024. Now, I want you to tell me, Mr. Wisdom, an experience of any startup that you started up, but it's not currently up. Oh boy, focus now. Focus. They focused for this podcast.
You want me to go and sell course and people not buy because I started startup?
Let me tell you something. Tell
me something.
People that have gone and failed are as good, even better teachers than people who have not tasted failure before.
It's called the scars of battle.
The scars of battle.
I'll tell you about one.
Tell me about one.
So, sometime a couple of years ago, when I finished school, I came back. I studied biomedical engineering, by the way, for those people that have never heard. And when I came back to Nigeria, I tried to get a job. It didn't work. And then they advised me to start a business. I started a barbecue business. So even though I was doing photography, but photography was still more like a hobby. And then I started a barbecue business. Of all the businesses that I run, that particular one, kaput, is a memory.
I think it's a memory.
So it didn't make it till today. Yes, so I failed. I failed.
What do you say? You have not failed. We are just saying gist us. Tell us, how did it go? What did make them fail?
So what made it fail was that three things. I'll try to sound deep. But three things. First, we hired the wrong people, right? we scaled too fast. And then 3, what's the third one? Succession. We didn't plan for succession. And I'll tell you about all of them first. I'll start with scale. We had a branch, where we started. And that branch was low cost. I didn't have to pay rent because it was by the side of the road, right? And I know I said barbecue. That's just the Tush name for it. We're selling bole, packaged bole and chicken. And so we have the grill. We had an umbrella. We were making a killing at the time. We were making about, this person that is eating this thing, God help the person and help yourself.
Amen.
But we're making a killing. We're making an average of, revenue, gross revenue of 180, 200,000 naira every single day. And I was running the business together with myself and 2 of my sisters, that you will now see how that impacted in a while. So my cost was very low. I was doing about 60 to 70% net margin. Partly because we weren't getting paid and my sisters were not getting paid. So it looked like we were making a lot of profit, and I thought, now we have this amount of money. My folks gave me the money to start a business. But now that we have this amount of money, what's the logical thing to do in business? Open another branch now so that you make twice as much. That's what you do business. So we started another branch, and now we had to hire people because, I have limited number of siblings. And those people that we hired strained our resources. So we're making money from the original place and investing it in the other one, and it just didn't work out. So that's what I meant by scaling too fast. Number 2, the people that we hired who is available, family, friends, people that didn't really realize what was at stake and all of those things. There was no structure, there were no rules, there was nothing. So they came in, and today they'll come to work, tomorrow they will not come, like that. We didn't sell. But also, where's my bole
inventory
and my chicken? Yes, you give it English name. Where's my stock? So I don't have money, I don't have stock, but you also did not sell.
What
And
about
there's
stockfish?
nothing.
Do you have stockfish?
I know it's your shoe, but that's dry. But
Get
back to
stockfish,
it,
Abi, you no get.
we're not selling stockfish. Oh yeah, and another thing was that we're hoping that when we expand, we'll start selling alcohol, And then we moved into an area that was dominated by Muslims. And Muslims are not supposed to drink alcohol. In short, Muslims and Christians are not supposed to drink alcohol, So we couldn't sell alcohol. That reduced our margin by a lot. So these guys did all of those things, and then to make matters worse, my sisters had to go for youth service. And the only thing my role in the business was sales, marketing, and branding. I didn't know anything about how the product was produced. So when the people that were producing my products were going for youth service, you can imagine that I was now in penury because I didn't know how to do it. My mom helped for a while, but there's just so much you could do. So the business, after a while, and after a couple of trials, had to fail. No, it didn't have to fail, but it failed.
Is this the succession bit
Yeah,
that
the
you also
succession
spoke
part.
about?
We didn't plan
There
for
was
what if
nobody
these
to-
people are no longer here.
Yeah.
At least I should have watched them. No, I created the idea, but I didn't know how to do it. All right, so I didn't know how many cubes of Maggi they had to use. We had a very special recipe. So there's a way we marinate the chicken and the bole that
Shit.
made us stand out, because every other person just removes bole and roasts it.
Yeah.
But we had a way of marinating it.
Marinating
So
it.
even if you were eating the bole alone,
Mm.
it was good. And one, what do we call it now?
Finger.
One finger of bole.
Plantain.
We're
You
selling
can
it
call it
for
finger of plantain.
the last time I posted this thing on TikTok, they dragged me. Port Harcourt
They
people.
will drag you again.
They said that I said I invented bole. So now that's why I'm calling it bole. We're selling for 200 naira. This is
2016,
2016,
2017, 2016,
2016, 2017. We're selling for 200 naira per one. So we're making it.
That's a romantic one. It's a good
You always
one.
wanted to. But so in case I sell my course, people should buy it because I failed. So I know how not to fail.
I love it. I think that like some of the key things, like what you distilled from the 3 parts that you took from it, are key also. But in addition to that, one thing that people that might be listening might not have seen is a scenario where, despite the end, the process, a scenario where working with family succeeded.
Yes.
In my own perception of
He
the
did,
story,
he
right?
did, he
So
did.
working with family actually succeeded because
He was
everybody
really good.
was
There was division of labor and everybody was focusing on their strengths. My sisters handled the operations. So I never would grieve. I never would serve customers, but I was the one that was responsible for, getting like the packaging, what we use. So it was really proper. We did it in a very proper way to justify our cost, because somebody down the road from us is selling bole at 30 naira. You are selling one for 200. They say I should not use profanity. So who the angel do you think you are? So it did work. I think it was one of the first times that it worked. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Wisdom. Powerful
Because
stuff.
you did not read the question now, you are stuck.
But I'm not stuck. It's literally in front of me. I can read it now.
Just read it.
You understand? But you first of all carry your audience along. You must let them know that, okay, we've listened to an experience from Mr. Wisdom. Let's listen to experience from other people. That's how it's called systems.
Okay.
You understand?
Do it expediently.
Dry. Okay, so we have some questions here that would help us, talk more about why startups fail and, stuff that we can do to avoid failure. Now, this one says, hi, I'm a fashion designer in Lagos. I started my business in 2022. I already had a few customers from school who knew I could sew and style clothes, so I decided, why not start big? Excuse me, I'm reading. Okay, it's copy and paste. I'm not the person's English teacher. So I gathered some money from friends and family and collected some loans too. Now I'm 2 years into my business and I haven't finished paying the loans. But the business is doing okay, and even though I know I should be earning and growing, it always feels like everything I earn goes right back to repay the loan. Do you have any advice for me?
We're back to this loan thing.
Producer said I should ask you. So have you found yourself in a situation where debt was holding your business back, even though you should be growing? How did you handle the pressure? How did you manage debt while continuing to grow your business?
Wait, you didn't even invite me to this particular one to just embarrass my career.
It's not about embarrassment now. This person now will be fashion designer. 2 years worth of paying back loan. Continuously.
So, the truth is, first thing is, business is not for everybody. Starting a business is the fastest way to go broke, especially if you are running the business in Africa. So I don't know, because the person says 2 years of paying loan. The question I have for the person is, what is your timestamp? Because it's just 2 years. You have eternity. We've recorded businesses like Uber that ran for like 7-8 years before breaking even, right? So first, there's a perspective problem in what the person is saying. Have I been in this situation? So I'll give you a story. I'm in media and advertising at Engage. Several years ago, we do billboard buying, media buying for clients, radio, billboard, digital, and all of those things. And I remember using our relationship with certain vendors that owned billboard platforms to get the billboard before the client paid. And at that time, this debt summed up to maybe around, I can't remember the exact figure, 18 to 24 million. It was a nightmare because the client was now not paying. It's part of business. Debt is, especially in this part of the world where access to capital is very difficult, somewhat difficult, it's not very difficult, but you have to be comfortable with debt, and you need to be able to use debt for the right reason. Now, if that deal had gone through, which it did eventually, I was going to make, I think, about 8 million from that transaction. So for me, it was a good risk. I'm going to do a third of the transaction if the client pays. And what I was hoping was that the client should pay. Now, we had a contract, which meant they were forced to pay. But they delayed for about, I think, 5 weeks. And what happened was that I went to the vendor's office. And I was now forming mentor-mentee relationship. Then I asked the vendor rather, have you ever owed somebody money? And then the gentleman told me that as he is now, he's owing about 400 and something million. And then he told me about a particular telco multinational that was owing him. Or was the reason why? No, he was owing them because they paid him for something and the deal went sour. And then I asked him, how do you sleep at night? He said he goes to his bed, lays down, and sleeps, because debt is part of business. So, to this person, I think that you should change your perspective from maybe 2 years to 10 years. That changes everything. So if you have to wait for something for 10 years, 2 years will not matter, right? And if your debt is structured, see the way your producer is just jumping because of Keke that is passing. If your debt is structured properly, it shouldn't last past 3 years. I actually think any debt that is past 3 years doesn't favor the person giving you the capital and also doesn't favor you. It means that you are doing some things wrong, right? But what I also wanted to say about this person, because there's something the person said at the beginning that said, I decided to start big. I think you should always start from pilots. We discussed about it the last time. And primarily, it's not every business that should become a big business. I think I put it up on my status today. Be as small as possible and as large as necessary. So if it's not necessary for you, your operations to be larger, your teams to be larger, stay small, so that you don't have to deal with all of these things before it is time to deal with it. That's what I think.
Thank you so very much. I also think that if you structure your debt properly, you have less and less of. But the funny thing is, even with the instruments that exist now, so for instance, commercial papers or bonds, all those things, the corporate bonds and the commercial papers that are being, issued by corporates, that's debts that they are forever carrying on. So debt is not so bad of a thing if you've structured it in such a way that you know you are going to pay it off and you know how that will go. But I want to take you to the next question, Mr. Wisdom. Now, somebody says, I own a small store in Makurdi, a small provision store in my neighborhood. Most of my customers are people I know since before I started selling, and sometimes I sell on credit, especially to those facing cash shortages, so that they will become loyal customers. At first, it worked well, but now I'm facing serious problems. Many customers haven't paid on time and is impacting my cash on hand. I can't restock and my shelves are slowly emptying. Some customers keep promising to pay next week, but the payments never come. I'm stuck between maintaining goodwill and saving my business, as I'm not making profit anymore and I don't know what next to do. Producer said I should ask you, have you ever faced the challenge of customers not paying on time? How did you handle it? What can this person do to keep their business running smoothly without losing their trusted
I
customers.
feel like there's a bias in scripting these questions. You people just want to naked me.
So it's curated now. So this one that I just asked you now is what the producer distilled from
The person's
the
question.
inquirer's question. Do you understand? So
Okay.
that's what.
This is very. It's a
But
very
the
good
funny
question.
thing is that you've actually already said the story of, when somebody is owing you.
Let me even be real.
I
Right
think-
now, people they owe me.
I think people they owe
It's
you right
part
now.
of business.
I think
People owe
they
you, but I think I need to correct some things up. It's perspective, right? The person said, should I maintain goodwill? For goodwill, man. Oh, they said I should not say fuck. And I said it again.
You said it again.
So you see that peep thing that they used to do, just put it there. You are in business to add value and be rewarded, not to do goodwill. If you want to do goodwill, my brother or my sister,
Start a
an
foundation.
NGO. When you offer people a service, it is value that you are providing to them. If you run a store, what you have done to them is, instead of you to travel all the way to the next place that there is a store, I've brought it closer to you. That's value. You should be able to exchange it. Number two, generally, even a little bit away from this, I have a rule of thumb. If Louis comes to me and says, borrow me 1 million naira, I will look at Louis as my guy and think, how is he going to pay me this money back? If he doesn't have a way to pay me the money back, you know what I'll do? Bros, this is so sad that you need 1 million. I will even ask you what you want to do it for. I'll give you 10% of the money. You can't be angry because I give you something. So I give you 100,000 naira. You don't have to pay me back. But if you want the 1 million, now you've explained that the president says you should do one thing, we will sign an agreement. So this is for that person. You come and say, they've not paid yet, but they will pay at the end of the sign an agreement. And before you sign the agreement, make sure you are someone who is willing and able to enforce the consequences of default.
But this person, he has a shop now, like.
Now
Kiosk.
shop, when you go pay me, you don't carry milk, Milo. You eat am abi you no eat am. When you go pay me on the 25th of November, no problem. Where is your source of income? At that point now, you shouldn't be embarrassed that I'm asking you questions because I'm protecting myself. You dey work for Beige Africa, no problem. Sign.
Beige people know they owe.
Beige people know they owe.
You have to use another company.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Just
I
be
will
right.
use Okonkwo and Sons. That's where
Okonkwo.
you work.
Okay.
Sign that in the event of a default, I can present this thing to Okonkwo and Son and collect my money.
So what if the person is an entrepreneur?
The person is an entrepreneur. No problem. I cannot give you this milk, Milo, and biscuits that you asked for. But based on who I be, as a normal nice guy that wants to run business on goodwill,
Normal NG.
just take normal eclairs, sweet, be calm. You don't have to pay for that one. Me, I go pay for you. But if I give you this biscuit, I'll go back to the village. If you present it like that, because let's be honest, we don't have laws in Africa guiding some of these things. Let me speak for Nigeria. Like we do, but they are not implemented. You need to protect yourself. Do it. Nobody likes to be embarrassed. So do it in a way that is becoming embarrassing. The person will tell you forget.
I think that in addition to that, there are people that will do something to find out and then create a boundary and correct. Me, I will not find out. So if you come and say, oh, you want something on credit, I'll tell you, that's very good, though. But my board of directors inside my kiosk shop
Inside your kiosk, one
said that.
one
Or my business partner
yes,
who is seeing
because
my
you know what happens
this
is
thing every
that
day.
a lot of the times, people do that in an environment where there's no structure.
Yeah.
If you sell an idea of or a perception of structure, they will respect it. If I come and tell you, we've been using it sometimes in our business. That year. Not now. Now we have structure. They will come after you. But that year, we just say that our board say we should ask you for our money.
Sometimes our CEO
It's our CEO that time, because me, I was not CEO that time. Our CEO, but na lie, I missed to be the CEO. There was no CEO role, so I was playing the CEO role. So it's not me that is asking you for the money, Louis, because you are my guy. It's our I work for somebody now. You know, so I think you should just do that and stop it as soon as possible. Then the people that already owe you, go after them. See the one that you can recover, because it's something to learn. Me, before, I'll write it as bad debt, but you've rendered value. You've offered service. Go after them. Some people will not pay you. You know it's bad debt. But if out of 100,000, you recover 25,000, that's 25,000 more money
than you'd have recovered.
Or 25,000 less that you'd have lost. You know, so
I think that's a romantic one. Maybe I should just take the last question.
But
here.
why Benue people like running kiosk? Is that the only thing that happens?
No, it's not. Maybe it's just that this particular example.
Benue woman,
I know. I'm aware. No, I know you know what to
cut this part out.
I think cut this part out to avoid issues that touch the heart. So let's look at this person. Her name is Hannah, and she owns a small wine-making business in Jos. She makes fruit wine with local ingredients like hibiscus and pineapple. At first, her business took off, and
it took down.
She had a couple of loyal customers that were friends and family. But only friends and family can sustain a business for long. And I'm now getting new customers like I expected. I've tried using social media to advertise, but people hardly show interest. And now I'm thinking, am I in the wrong business? Or people don't have interest in what I'm selling. But wine has always been my passion. So producers, I should ask you, looking back, have you ever started a business or project that you were passionate about but struggled to find customers? How can I differentiate between a passion project and a viable business idea?
Let me make a joke, but it might not be funny, but even though I'll still make the joke.
I think you will still make it.
I listened to one guy. He calls himself the business humorist. Great guy. His name is Lala. So they call him Coach Lala. He said something that passion without money will change to passion. And he defined passion as, I think, maybe I'm not pronouncing it well, but Yoruba for frustration, right? Okay, producer says it's cane, that they are flogging you. So that means tears, pain, right? This whole passion gist. What makes a business is that there's a customer base that has a need that you've identified, and you have these resources to meet the need. If you don't have that customer, so if you don't have customer, what you have is not a business, it's a hobby. And it is okay to recognize it as a hobby. If you call it a business and you say, wine is my passion, maybe the type of wine that you are selling, people are not interested in it. I think it's egotistic for you to create stuff and expect everybody to like it. Do you understand? So, what makes this person, the first thing you should, have I been in situations? Of course, yes. I did passion. I want to lift people. I want to raise leaders. And then I realized that if you don't take time, you need somebody to raise you. So what I now did was look for things that I can. Right now, I don't sell anything if I don't find a customer. And the funny thing is, most of the things I sell within my network, I will find one person. You know, and that goes to show like the power of one. It doesn't mean that the business will be sustainable, but it means that at least to some extent there is a market fit. You have a customer. Aki Alabi puts it this way in his book. Don't create a product and find the market. Find a starving crowd and create a product for them. You will sell. If on a hot day you see Louis running at National Stadium, and then you bring out a bottle of very cold water, and you tell him it is 1,000 naira. If he doesn't have another place to get cold water, he will buy it for 1,000 naira, even though he knows that that same bottle is going for 100 naira. Why is it that drinks in the club are 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 times more than the retail price? It is because there is a starving crowd. What do you want to do? You want a rock babe, you want to make her feel all right. You now go outside and go and buy Ace of Spades. You will not. You will buy the one in the club. So because of that, demand and supply, now there is a demand for it. Price will increase. Anytime demand is high, it's economics now.
Yeah,
You're in a
basic
better
economics.
position. Anytime demand is high,
And supply
price
is
will
limited.
go up so that they can meet the supply. It's just sense, because where do I want to get the extra money to be able to meet your demand? So I increase the price so that I can reduce the number of people that I have resources to meet their needs. So for this person, I think you can keep doing wine as a passion for your friends when they do birthday. That can be your gift to them, and then maybe go and get a job.
And
You know.
I feel that like there's dignity in labor in terms of going back to get a job. But also, what I also think is that maybe do this since family and friends are already patronizing anyway, continue. But after you have re-engineered yourself to know whether it's a passion or it's a business, maybe do the basic thing, the survey thing that you were sort of implying in what you were saying. Find out if there's the market.
What? Yes.
Yeah,
So
like,
if
go ahead,
people are
ask
even buying from
questions.
you, family and friends, ask them,
Yeah.
what don't you like about this my product?
Exactly.
Right.
Or go to where people are buying wine already.
Carry the thing, go and do free sampling. Tell them the only thing that you need, that this thing will cost you, is your feedback. After drinking, tell me, what do you like? What don't you like? If you do this for 10, 100, and if your resources can carry 1,000 people, you will have gotten enough sample size to make adjustments. So I really don't think that it is bad. I think that the person should let go of, I like wine, this is how wine should be, and just sell what people are willing to buy.
Absolutely. You know what this reminds me of is, so we started the Beige Club fully in January, and we had some people join in. We even had like a business join in as well. And we were just there sitting one day when the business came and said, hey, they have this LPO that they're trying to fund.
Yeah.
And then, they need some kind of this thing.
Facility.
And then that now, we already knew that at some point in the cooperative,
Yes,
people
that will happen.
Yes, that will happen. But the fact that the
Somebody-
need came up
yes.
first
Before
we now
product,
created the product
instead of creating
around
the product and going to look, this
okay,
business, do you need this
we
thing?
have this,
Yes,
so
yes.
I think that really aligns. Oh, it's exciting times always. Hannah, I hope Hannah starts feeling all right soon.
And Hannah has a good name.
Yeah, Hannah has a good name.
Should I say, had I known?
Dry.
Sorry.
Dry.
Sorry.
Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for this wonderful the time that you've shared with us, that you've listened to us, or that you've watched us. Last week was explosive, so has this week been as well. We're focusing solely on small businesses this time around. Some of the things that we can extract from the learnings that both us and the people around us, have been able to get. People have been sending in their questions. Producer is having a fun time sorting them out, and he has said that on you people's mandates we shall stand. So
Shit.
keep. Now
Wait, producer,
are you the one sorting the question?
It's part of profanity. Sorry.
At all. So please keep sending in the questions. And it doesn't have to be a story like how Hannah and everybody else
And I
have been
enjoy the
doing
questions,
it.
but it's like we're focusing on Benue and Jos.
I don't understand. No be where people send
Out of
questions
Lagos.
from, they go talk.
People from Lagos, send your question. Abuja people.
Is it
Port
by
Harcourt
force? No
people,
be you go tell
Akwa
them.
Ibom people.
You no go tell them.
Tell us about your 404 restaurant
Shit.
business. Is that profanity?
It's for not profanity.
404.
Please stay
restaurant
focused on the
business.
topic. We're
Sorry.
closing. Okay, now you they close
Sorry.
this thing.
So I should
urgently.
close. I'm
it.
such a good closer. Like, I mean, literally, I can close
Oh
this.
God. Oh God.
Okay, so producer is whispering that we should say, okay, so wait, let me be serious about it.
Please be
Okay,
focused.
so this was a very fun time. If you are here, make sure you like, share, comment. They say we should also follow depending on the platform that you're on. If you are seeing this on YouTube, subscribe. If you are seeing this on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, make sure that
It's X. It's
you
X.
you subscribe.
Excuse me, my man Elon no go dey happy.
Okay, Elon. So
It's not Twitter.
I will not dodge that.
I think
will
you
say
won't
that
dodge it.
it's on X. If you're on X, make sure you follow. Share this with your friends that run small businesses. Beige has decided to focus on small business. This is small business season, right? So send in your questions as well. There are issues that you are struggling with. Would be happy to share our thoughts on it around business, finance, and all of those things. So till I meet you next time, this is my very eloquent closer. They say I should look at this camera now, so I'll look at this camera and then, sorry, okay, I'm not supposed to say that. So let's look at this camera.
I'm already looking at the camera because me, I pick up things
You pick up
fast.
things fast.
It's not you.
So-
You go there. You.
It was fun having you here. You see, the guest that is closing the show, it shows you my pedigree. I'll catch you guys next time when we talk about small businesses. This has been Beige Podcast. See you soon.